Human beings are capable of remarkable accomplishments. As a human being, you have within you resources that you yourself do not appreciate. This is part of our spiritual resilience. Of all these 5 different kinds of resilience, spiritual resilience is the most difficult one to explain. But because many people get confused by the word spiritual. I do not mean religious, but it's about understanding the transcendent power, the transcendent energy of the human spirit, of your human spirit, and knowing how to harness that energy. There's a famous quote attributed to the German philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche. A person who has a why to live for can endure almost any how. Now, that's a little bit of a confusing sentence, but what it means is that a person who has a clear purpose, a person who has a clear sense of meaning in their life, will be stronger and more perseverant than someone who doesn't understand the meaning of their life. And the key to understanding this is to understand what another German philosopher, Viktor Frankl, pointed out, that you are the person who determines the meaning of your life. So take a moment to ask yourself this question, but also understand this is a difficult question. What is the meaning of your life? No one else can answer that question for you. But when you have an answer, that answer will give you tremendous energy and resilience. You may also begin by asking yourself, what is the meaning of your life this week? What are the things that matter to you this week, that motivate you and that feel important to you? If it's easier for you, you could ask, what's the purpose of my life this week? What am I aiming for? And what is making that important to me? When you start to look at this bigger picture of meaning and purpose, you can tap into deep sources of energy inside your human spirit. You may already have heard people say something like, if you find your passion, then you find your purpose. Because again, when you find your passion, you find the thing that excites you, that energizes your spirit. So finding your passion is a form of spiritual resilience. It's so easy to get confused and misled by the words we use to talk about these things. It doesn't matter whether you use the word meaning or passion or purpose, but it's about tapping into the sense of what is it that matters to you, that gives you energy and drives you forward. When you find that, you will tap into your source of tremendous spiritual resilience. This is one of the biggest challenges of modern life. Because in fact, throughout most of human history, we lived simple lives. Think about the life of your great-grandmother and your great-grandfather just 100 years ago. It's very likely that their life was much simpler than yours, and that they did not have as many responsibilities as you have. You have probably received a college education or more. You have professional responsibilities, you have family responsibilities, and you have to navigate life in this weird, complicated modern society. We live in a way that human beings have not quite lived before. We deal with many of the same emotional and mental issues, but our lives are more complicated. There's many more pieces and responsibilities going on. And we are given more autonomy and decision-making about the things that will guide our lives. When we talk about spiritual resilience, it's a little bit more complicated than the other 4 kinds of resilience. And it will change as our stage of life changes. Because there's a stage of life when we are a student and a learner, and we are receiving information. We spend so many years in school to become literate and to develop our thinking skills and our knowledge and abilities. And then there's another stage of life where we're absorbing information from other people and learning our profession, maybe in our 20s. And then we gradually become more and more independent relative to where we were 10 years before, 20 years before. A 30-year-old is more independent than a 15-year-old. And then we develop. And at the same time, we will also develop in terms of our spiritual resilience because we increasingly set our own direction. And to the degree that we feel, I am the captain of this ship and I am setting the direction, we will feel free and we will feel powerful. To the degree that we feel like I'm a passenger on a train and I don't have any control in setting the direction of where this train is going, we will feel like a victim. Spiritual resilience helps us to understand there are, of course, so many things in life that we don't control, but we choose the meaning and the purpose that we assign to how we will live today and this week and this month.